Every legend has a moment when someone says, "You're not the right fit." For Bruce Lee, that moment came in 1971. He walked into Warner Brothers with a television concept he'd spent years building. A wandering fighter in the American West. No weapons, just philosophy and his fists. The studio loved the idea. They just didn't believe America would accept Bruce Lee as the lead. Not long afterward, Hollywood made a martial arts western without him. Most people would have spent years trying to prove them wrong. Bruce Lee did something far more dangerous. He left and built a success so big that Hollywood had no choice but to come back. In the late 1960s, Bruce Lee had become one of Hollywood's most sought-after martial arts instructors. He'd built a martial arts studio in Los Angeles. Some of Hollywood's biggest names came to learn from him. Steve McQueen, James Coburn, Sterling Siliphant, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. His private lessons would be worth around $2,500 an hour in today's money. Not to teach them how to fight, to teach them how to move, how to master themselves. He was good enough to train Hollywood's biggest stars, but he still couldn't convince Hollywood to make him one. Bruce didn't want to spend the rest of his life playing sidekicks or training other people's stars. He wanted to be the story. So he spent years developing a television series called The Warrior, a half-Chinese, half-American wanderer in the American West. A hero who relied on his mind and his body instead of a gun. When Warner Brothers invited him in, Bruce believed his moment had finally arrived. The meeting happened in 1971. Bruce walked into that room with the confidence. They loved the concept. They loved the philosophy. But they didn't believe America was ready for an Asian lead. But here's what no one tells you about that story. The series became Kung Fu, starring David Carradine. It ran for 3 seasons, 63 episodes, aired in living rooms across America. Every episode, a different face carried the kind of role Bruce Lee had built himself for. He was 30 years old. He'd spent more than a decade in America trying to break through. Caught between two worlds, dismissed as too Asian for the leading roles Hollywood imagined, and not Asian enough for the traditional films back home. But while Bruce had been fighting to be seen in America, something had changed in Hong Kong. The Green Hornet, where Bruce played Kato, had become popular across Asia, and audiences there didn't call it the Green Hornet. They called it the Kato Show. For the first time, Bruce realized something Hollywood hadn't. He already had an audience. If Hollywood wouldn't make him a star, he'd prove he already was. And he did it faster than anyone expected. The Big Boss. It shattered every box office record in Hong Kong history. Then Fist of Fury, another record. Then Way of the Dragon, a film he wrote, directed, and starred in himself. Its final battle, Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris in the Roman Colosseum, is still considered one of the greatest fight scenes ever filmed. 3 films, 3 records, an entire continent at his feet. And then something happened that no one expected. Warner Brothers came back. The same studio that had turned him away in 1971 was back. This time, they wanted to co-produce his next film. They weren't deciding whether Bruce Lee belonged anymore. They needed him. Bruce didn't say yes immediately. He negotiated. He demanded creative control. He demanded to fight the way he wanted to fight. Real, fast, nothing hidden by camera tricks. And this time, he got it. Enter the Dragon, 1973. The first Hollywood martial arts film with an Asian lead. Filmed in English, made for a global audience. It became a worldwide success. Bruce Lee was no longer just a martial artist. He was a global icon. He didn't argue his way back into that room. He didn't convince Warner Brothers with speeches. He became so undeniable that their rejection became their regret. The role Bruce Lee never got isn't what people remember today. His real legacy is what he built after. Bruce Lee stopped waiting for Hollywood to believe in him. He built something so successful that belief no longer mattered.
Maybe right now you've been told you're not ready, not the right fit, not what they're looking for. Bruce Lee did too. And he didn't wait for the world to catch up. He made it catch up. Don't give away your story. Live it. Because in the end, someone else can play the part, but only you can live yours. If you're following the Imaginarium, you're not just watching stories. You're collecting the ones that stay with you.